Morning, church.
Morning.
Say good morning, church.
Good morning.
And it's a blessing to be here to see everyone's faces amidst all that's happening. So, man, just let's be excited and praise the Lord for the times that we're in and the time that's coming. This morning, the scripture will come from 1 Samuel chapter 7. I'll be reading verses 2 through 4. 1 Samuel chapter 7, verses 2 through 4. I think they have it back there, so I'll get everything going. Say amen. We got it. Scripture reads, "And it came to pass while the ark abode in Kirjath-jearim, that the time was long, for it was 20 years, and all the house of Israel lamented after the Lord. And Samuel spake unto the house of Israel, saying, If ye do return unto the Lord with all your hearts, then put away the strange gods and Ashtoreth from among you, and prepare your hearts unto the Lord, and serve him only, and he will deliver you out of the hand of the Philistines. Then the children of Israel did put away Baalim and Ashtoreth, and serve the Lord only." Father God, we just want to say thank you this morning. Thank you for a one and only God whom we serve. Thank you, Lord, for your love, Father, for your grace, Heavenly Father, for your mercy, Heavenly Father. Father, thank you for your covering, Father God. Thank you for your faithfulness, Father God. In a time of so much unknown, Heavenly Father, we just want to say thank you because we know that you still are in control, Father God. Right now, Lord, I ask that you decrease me and increase you, Father God, so that your message for your people may go forth, Heavenly Father. Use me this morning, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray, Lord. Amen. This morning, church, I want to talk to you all about strange gods. Strange gods. You know, these idols, better yet known as imposters, or things that we worship that have no substance. You see, sometimes these idols, they lead us to this place where, I guess I should ask, have you all ever been in a place of, or a position of frustration? And I'm not talking about wasted drink frustration or flat tire on the way to church frustration, but I mean a state of frustration where life is overwhelming, where things just don't seem to go your way. I mean, if something can go wrong, it will. That frustration where you don't want to talk to nobody, and you don't want nobody talking to you. I mean, you get so used to being down and out, you begin to just get by versus looking for a way to get out. Those times when we can just be whooped. And then over time, something happens, whether it be a song, a word on television, a conversation, a testimony, a mention of God's goodness and passing. And then just something, but it provides a glimpse of how good he is that leads you back to the Lord. And when it leads you back, it creates an urge that you start praying. You find yourself serving. You may even start humming and singing, bouncing a little bit. You start doing whatever it is that you do that brings you to a place of worship. And all of a sudden, frustration turns into gratitude. And gratitude then, it shifts your focus from what's not, what you don't have, to actually what is and what God is so graciously giving you. You see, ultimately, I pray if you ever found yourself today in this place, or if you ever find yourself in this place, that you understand somewhere along the way it was your choice to step out of his presence. Step right out of his presence, and then in understanding what you did, what your role is, the part that you played, it's critical that you identify what you allowed to lead you out of his presence. You see, in the scripture, we're seeing this picture of the children of Israel in a state of frustration, lamenting and longing after the Lord. And during this time, the ark, which represents the covenant had been displaced. You see, it was taken by the Philistines for 7 months, and then it was returned to Kadesh-Jearim, but it's not its normal place. And so we have to understand also at this point in time that their reverence for the ark, and not only that, their reverence for the Lord was displaced before the ark was. And so the ark normally being in this holy tent, they decided they want to bring it out to the battlefield. And being in battle without even consulting with God about what they were doing. And so in a I guess you could say, a fair weather attempt to force God's hand and try to make God do what they wanted God to do, they ended up losing the ark. And you know how that is sometimes, how we get what we do to ourselves, get ourselves in trouble, and then start claiming faith, playing with Jesus' name like Candyman, hoping we can coerce him into a miraculous move on our behalf that really doesn't serve his will, yet it just serves our own will. So now in the scripture we come to a place where we have Samuel the prophet and God's chosen leader of Israel pleading with them to return to God and to serve him only. So as we stand here today in the midst of a pandemic, I have a couple questions for y'all. How is your spirit? Are you anxious? Are you restless? Are you fearful? Are you chasing something that you shouldn't be chasing? How is your spirit? Are you lamenting for the presence of the Lord when you should be standing in it? You see, like the children of Israel, we allow strange gods to determine our spiritual state. Then after spending half the day glued to he say, she say, then we haphazardly throw God's name out there claiming that we cover.
My God.
Running to every source that we should be running to. And then we want, my God got me. Knowing all the time we shaking in our boots, hoping and guessing. You see, we get engulfed in the noise because we get engulfed in the noise because we aren't engulfed in him. We gotta get in that word, y'all. Before we hit the phone, we gotta hit our knees. Before we go chasing, singing this song and singing that song, singing these words and singing this rumor, we gotta start singing praises unto him. Go into a place of worship and then embark on what this world has in store for us. I remember coming home from college and I had these intentions. I was supposed to go play in the NFL in my head, and I'm working out, and now things are starting to look slim. Months go by, and I'm chasing things of this world. That's what the NFL was about. I needed to leave because I needed to shine. There were some things that I wanted to do. I had some cars I wanted to drive past. I had some chains and some money, some things I needed to show people. They needed to see me shine. And as I'm chasing these things, I'm spending time out with my boys, and we kick it day to day, and we get nothing done. Nothing. Every single day. But I would find myself making it to church every Sunday, but when I would make it, I would sit somewhere back there by where coach is sitting, close as I could to that back door, and I would wait, literally looking through the window till the pastor walk up, I'll walk in. Pastor sit down, I go out. But let me tell you, my church at home is half of this church, maybe a quarter of this church. Everybody seen me. So one Sunday before I could even get the movie, you know they were on me. They didn't ask me how I was doing, they told me, Marcus, you restless. I am? Yes, you are. You need to settle down, baby. Get on in this house and give him some time. Give him some time. You see, I was checking in and out, looking for what I wanted and what God could give me versus me looking what I needed to give God. Being focused on how much time I should be giving him. Wondering what's going to happen next to me, where this blessing is going to come from, how my life is going to end up, versus just focusing on doing what I'm supposed to do right here where I was. You see, we can get caught up in what's going to happen to us, what's the next update we're going to receive. Instead, we should be focused on how much more time can I give him. So despite whatever news or whatever update I receive, I know that I stand on solid ground. So I was dabbling in God, looking for him to bless me, to bring glory to me, because that life had become my God. That life had become my God. A strange God. Idols they ain't always seen. We think about a little candle, we think about a little statue or things that we may place on the shelf and pray to, but idols aren't always seen. Sometimes it's that thing that you saw that other person have that you chase it with your heart. That thing becomes the way that you operate, the reason for how you operate, the way that you see the world, the way that you treat people, and the way that you see people. It becomes the way that you, once again, operate in fearfully versus fearlessness. You see, when we operate in the Lord, we should be fearless. But sometimes we have those idols and we place them above Him. Now we shucking and we kind of a little scared. We shaky about what we're trying to do. We're not as bold as we should be in every place that He takes us. We're wondering what's going to happen instead of saying, what am I going to bring to this? What am I going to do when I get in this position? All right? Because we have allowed an idol to be placed above Him. You see in verse 3, there are two critical words. It says, if ye. If ye. You see, God gave us absolute control over one thing, and that's our minds. So who and what we worship is a choice. How we worship is a choice. How often we worship is a choice. How we live courageously or fearfully. How we treat others with respect or in humility or disrespect and arrogance are all choices. You see, we definitely have commandments, but our adherence to these commandments come through our free will. Don't dodge the issues by operating like me in the spirit of restlessness. Don't choose to be overwhelmed right now by operating in the spirit of fear. Choose to be delivered daily by submitting your heart to the will of God instead of allowing strange gods to put your spirit in a stronghold. And so my second question to you all today is your perspective worldly or godly?
My God.
Is your perspective worldly or godly? You see, I got to ask you, do you see the world through a godly lens that combats the views of the world? Or do you see the world through a worldly lens that combats the word of God? That's a question that you have to answer for yourself. In chapter 8, if you go forward in the scripture, in verse 5, Samuel, he's a little bit older, and his sons have become judges of the land. And they are some shiesty judges, just to say the least. Some shiesty judges, willing and dealing, perverting judgment for selfish gain and the agenda of others. Kind of sound familiar, don't it? So the people of Israel, they go to Samuel and they ask him for a king to judge them like all the nations. They asked Samuel for a king to judge them like all the nations. I want to tell you something. In the scripture, if you go back and read it, you'll learn that in chapter 7, the Lord came, they submitted, the Lord did what He did, brought thunder down, defeated all the enemies of theirs. And it was funny because now they're back in this space of, we need somebody to judge us. Your kids are foolish, they clowning, they cutting up. And we know you defeated the Philistines, but we need you to do something for us. Bring us a king like they have over there. We're looking at them and we see what they have. That's what we want. Right. Versus, we've already seen the work that you'll do for us. We saw how bold we become when you defeated the Philistines, our enemies in our face, and then we were able to go take on the war ourselves. Yet still, we want to look out at what others have and decide that's what will be best for our circumstances. And there's nothing wrong at this point with their disdain towards the son's actions, but their request once again undermines God's authority. You see, they ask him for their king, and during these times, if we think about that, like us, we go to Pastor CNN, to Reverend Instagram, the Prophetess Facebook, and Apostle random text messages from who aren't, and that person is exactly who we shouldn't be consulting. All right. All these different people, these different sources of information that we run into that tell us what we should be thinking, how we should be conducting ourselves, how we should be moving. And we allow those things to set us. They set us right now, they set our spiritual disposition. But would you just imagine if you got on your knees in the morning, and instead of picking up your phone, instead of responding to a text message, got on your knees and gave the Lord His time. Gave Him His time. sing praises unto him, come into communion with him. In those moments, what it would be like then when you look at that text message, it's the same foolishness I saw yesterday. They still ranting and raving about nothing. My God has already steadied my spirit. He's already given me my path. He already know my assignment. So everything I just said don't have nothing to do with how I feel about my circumstance. We have to understand what our true source should be versus allowing those things which are worldly tell us how we should be seeing the world. It's okay to be uneasy or concerned because emotions, they are to be expected. But the issue we all encounter is allowing emotions to misguide us by leading us out of the presence of the Lord. You see, even Jesus experienced emotion. When what did he ask at the Mount of Olives? If thou be willing, take this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but thy will be done. You see, there's an emotion there, but the thing that Jesus did different from us is that we allow emotions to lead us in action to serve our anger, our envy, our pride, our fear. But Jesus only let emotions lead him to the Father. He only let emotions lead him to the Father. So you have to think about today, where can you start to let emotions lead you? There's many times I know you all experience it like me. You sit there at work and somebody is on your nerves. And if I get to slap the taste out of them now, damn, it'll be if another person cut me off, I wish I could just get out this car and go upside down. If these kids do one more thing, I promise you, I'm shutting it down tonight. Emotions, especially in a time like we are in today. There's so much information coming at us from so many sources, from so many people that can lead us astray. And we can look at it, and because we trust someone, we think that we should believe in this. Yet we haven't considered the source. They haven't considered the source, and the source that it came to from them never considered the source. We can't see dates on videos. We don't see dates on messages. We don't know where it was originated, but it's being passed around as if it's official. But the only thing that's truly official, the only thing that we should stand on, the thing that when we see it, regardless of what it says, that's going to steady us, is that word of God. The thing that we have to keep turning to each and every day. I promise you, if you will begin your day, meet them in the middle of the day and in your day, but all the things that are coming out and twisting your mind and leading you astray, your days will be less stressful. You'll spend your time less frustrated. People will be sitting next to you to come get some peace. People will be coming to you to come get some joy, and you'll be all right to give it to them so you don't have to deal with the madness of them bringing this to you. We hear this type of thing with our frustration or our anger misleading us all the time in post-game interviews. You'll see players sitting there and they shaking their heads. You know, sometimes they got the towel on there at the podium, they're speaking at the mic. And, you know, today I just want to apologize to the organization. I want to apologize to my teammates and my coaches. I allowed my emotions to get the best of me, so I got to make better choices. How many times are we going to allow it to happen? Because in most cases, when we see individuals like that are making those choices, it's a repetitive thing. So in your life, in your position, where you are, if you're the person picking up the phone, if you're the person sending those text messages, if you're the person sending messages, making those calls, isn't it time that you think about how much you allow the emotions to misguide you? Isn't it time to think about how you're allowing emotions to lead you out of God's presence? You see, we have the free will, that choice to hold on to his peace. It doesn't matter where we go, where we stand. We can stand amidst the fire in the middle of the war and be full of peace. That is the choice. That is what we have. That has been granted and given to us. Man. Thank you, Jesus. Man. Thank you, Jesus. Because in every space that I walk to now, I can walk in full of peace. Thank you, Lord, because everywhere that I go, I know that I'm covered. Regardless of what they say, regardless of what they see, I know whose I am. Yes, sir. I know I belong here. I know I mean something here. I know that when I walk away from here, I will leave it different. Yeah. Why? Because I walk in his name. Yeah. I'm covered in his blood. And this is faith in See, we can claim it, we can say it, we can pretend about it, but faith looks like something. Faith looks like something. So if you're not reflecting faith, that may be why people aren't consulting you. That may be why people stay away from you. That may be why you're a little angry and frustrated. That may be why you lost. That may be why you're sick. That may be why your kids want to stay away from you. That might be why people don't want to deal with you. Because faith looks like something. And I promise you, if you exhibit in faith, you'll be magnetic. You'll be magnetic. Jesus didn't have to run around collecting people. Wherever he went, they came. Wherever he went, they came. So if you're reflecting him in your walk, you know people are going to come to you. So as Christians, we ought to reflect the Lord and Savior. You see, he wasn't moved by their darts. It didn't matter what they threw at him, who threw it, how much they threw. Everything outside of the will of the Lord, he refuted with the word of God. We don't act hastily, we don't act in fear, and we are not led by foolish pride, because it is a detriment to God's will for our lives, for our lives to allow emotions to dictate how we live. So when you see those Christians from the other churches or family members that don't go to PJ, and you see them let their emotions get the best of them, just understand that they're not standing on the word of God. We know that in our lives. And so as you leave here today, I need you, and as a matter of fact, the Lord needs you to remove those worldly lenses that we get when we start to serve those strange gods. These lenses that change day to day, that have those self-serving agendas, that have nothing solid to stand on, whether it's CNN, Fox News, text chains from military friends, and social media messages from family members who are close to someone in the CDC. Don't receive and then react. See it all for what it is by seeking him, the one and only, the Alpha and Omega, the King of Kings. He that provides us a lens that fills our spirits with peace, that steadies us in the face of adversity and tells us how we are supposed to interpret and respond to whatever our circumstances may be. So your spirit, it should be great, because your perspective, it should be godly. Thank you.
Come on, we got another hand for the word. The word of God on today. Listen, I went home between services, and on the way back, I saw all the cars lined up. I said, look at God. You're trying to get to go to church. Your church is locked up and you can't hardly get there. And I looked, and they lined up to get clean and disinfect. Wow. Lined up all the way down and right back. Wow. People really, you better be covered with the blood of Jesus.
Amen.
Listen, if it was a line like that to get to the church, they would get out of line and say, it's too crowded, I don't need one way. And I had to wait. We wouldn't wait 10 minutes to get to the church of God. Isn't that something? So watch God. Let me show you God.